first painting in the series. It's Day of the Dead theme, and it's like protest painting, environmental protest painting against the government and British Petroleum oil in particular. You can see these Barbier towels with BP up here. I don't know if you can read it, but those are have to do with the Gulf explosion. Also symbolic of 9/11, 10 years ago. That's why I had two towels back there. And in the Gulf explosion incident, there was 11 people who was killed in that. So I don't believe in numerology, but you notice 11's coming up a lot. In the painting, I have either 11 skulls or skeletons that symbolize the people died in that incident. I guess I'll go to this invitation piece next. This is called heat lightning in a war zone. And when I taught school, one of the things I would do is it's called like interest to the composition, or where you can get in the picture, go all around the picture, and then in at the center of interest, that type of thing. So out of the 4 interests of the painting, where do you think the interest would be? The interest to the composition?
The light?
The light?
The light up above?
No, not the light above. Somewhere's along the edge, Kathy, to get in the picture and travel around. I'll show you where it's at if you need to know. According to me.
Where I say where the little car is going across the ladder?
That's a good guess, but you're not quite there, Kathy.
The bottom.
We're coming in right here, floating in with the American bombs.
Oh, okay.
From there, you drop down to the little Libyan bombs. This is a Libyan flag right here. It's just green military. Follow the Libyan bombs, the baby bombs around, and then boom, into the center of interest right here, the eccentric dictator. And let's see what else. Well, there's also an exit here. You just don't have an exit.
Oh, okay.
You get out here, this is called a loop back right here. So because of that loop, exit composition, implied directional emphasis, come back around, recycle back in. The historical aspects of the picture, this loop thing was like from the early 1900s. This was actually females in chorus doing this, that trick, whatever it is. But it was banned in 1909 because it was too dangerous. Females in chorus doing this loop back thing. And I got that from Women Daredevils out of children's, the children's section of Goodwood Library. Whenever I do a theme, I like to look at the children's books. There's more pictures and less words. Well, there's a little lightning strike here that kind of ties in, heat lightning with this. And then the pop culture aspects, Michael Jackson-like coat, and Prince ruffles in there. And a little bad word down here that I forgot about, someone brought my attention to it. When we talk mostly about composition on this, 3 things that kind of brings the composition together. First, complementary colors. You see the green interior back there. Down here, the red exterior outdoors. And this transition area, the colors are coming in again, the greens and reds to tie it up color-wise. One thing I'm doing in this picture, in most pictures you have the big figures in the background and the small figures, the big figures in the foreground, small figures in the background. You can see I flipped that around, found a way to have the little figures in the foreground. The other thing that's tying it together, composition-wise, well, the staggering faces along here. And then last, string theory, the strings. Strings here, strings over here. That kind of laces the composition together. Okay, I guess we'll go to another picture. The sage painting, perhaps. This is my collaboration show with my good friend Paul Neff. We've been working together for about 8 years or so. Paul Neff's right here. That's myself in here. And well, my theme before this was girl power. So you can see, I still have girls in the picture. So in center stage here, I have the same sensations, and the painting's called Sensational. But there's 3 like energy spots. See down here, every helmet's going a different direction, so you can feel the rocking of the huddle here. And then this energy in here, like a little shimmy, and then these hardcore Saints fans really are energetic. And I told Neff that we shouldn't put our friends in there, because you leave someone out, they can be upset. And then the ones we put in there, they're so ugly, you know, they hate it, so that's the breaks. But the layout is like, this is my block, Paul Neff, Steve, mine, Neff, mine. We got mixed up over here. That's his, and then that's his again, I think. Then mine, his. That's Tracy Porter. Up here, the Saints from the past, before they won the Super Bowl, Archie Manning, Daniel Bravich, what's that, 26, Deuce McAllister, Ricky Jackson, only Saints person in the Hall of Fame, Joe Horn, and then the kicker, what's his name, Tom Dempsey, whatever, broke the record of that club foot, crippled hand. He hit 72-yard field goal, 73, still stands. This is Corny 10, Deep Blue painting. Deep Blue. My next theme is going to be Deep Space, and this was Carnival. So some of these paintings, like Star Girl, the Moon Girl, Star Girl, so it's moving towards space. This is the last one, Corny 10. You see I'm putting the Carnival behind me now, going into something new. And Deep Space is going to be a cool palette with cool colors. And I'm using interference colors. It's very tricky. You can see defects in here now, but it's like a glazing thing. You put it, it's kind of thin, you put it over another color, it changes the color somewhat. Paul Neff again. Close friend. Clark Durbus in the middle here. Charles Barbier. And then the mystery girl right here. I don't know if you noticed, but she's also in that painting over there, I think. Yeah, with red hair, kind of leading us into composition over there.
Is that all acrylics or is it all?
This is acrylics. I just have one all painted in here. That painting up there, I started with all in the background, but I realized it was too slow, so I went to paint markers and acrylics for speed and efficiency. This is Corny 7, King and Queen. It's loosely based on John Lennon and Yoko Ono. And things I'm interested in, war and peace in here. This is religious down here. I'm a Catholic, and that goes back to Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, reproduction of a reproduction. Kind of move some of those objects around. And back here we have these European, like stuck-up European rich people or something. Notice the daredevils up here, and they're not paying any attention to them. They're looking toward us because, well, this is John Lennon and Yoko. Behind this, they nude on the back side, so they're looking at that. I just made that up. I'm just kidding on that. 25 rabbit trick. One of the things I do, I like to work from photographs. Let's see, where can I start with this? Well, this guy was at the Festival about 3 years ago. Took a picture of him in the parking lot. Not exactly like that. But what else? Well, Hunter Roth has white trash. For 34 years, he's in Oklahoma now. But he had white trash party once a year, and that was one of his white trash outfits. And this is myself and Hutch in the uniform. Well, white trash things we wore that day, whatever. But what else? Well, also related to Hunter, there was a Mexican crew that was doing his roof work, about 12 or 15 guys, and this guy here was there. I got permission to take a couple pictures of him, and through Interpretator, we let him know that, you know, he would get one of my paintings one day, so he's happy. Let me take a couple pictures of him. He could do everything else, everything everyone else could do with one arm. The other picture I had him with the wheelbarrow, and he had a rope on his shoulder, rope to the wheelbarrow, and could do things. Let's see. But one thing I like to do is some kind of hint, approximately when I did the painting. You can see these cell phones down there, whatever you call them, so that kind of tells you it's been done in the last few years. This was, again, friends of mine, Charles Cook, Anne Marie, Aaron. That was at the Irish parade thing by Zealand Road there. Took a snapshot of them. We all drinking Paps, and that's what we drink sometimes. But any questions on this picture?
Charles, the rabbit going through the rain, what does that sound like? Is there a meaning?
Well, it's just Carnival thing, you know, trick. Got the string coming down again. No particular meaning, I would say. But, you know, it's the focus.
Yeah, I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is.
No, you know, that's what I'm
It's
looking
a
at.
focal
The camera
point,
means
yeah.
like focus
Well, that's
on-
why they did that rabbit trick. That's actually based off of a rabbit by David Horton, who's in the gallery. He had Carnival pictures himself.
Charles, the thing that strikes me, it's so exciting about your work is that you have so many different strategies for how to move a person around a painting. You really think about how composition works. So sometimes it's like a one-point perspective thing, or these staggered figures,
Yeah.
or strings, or lines,
Yeah.
and the really deliberate use of like the broom, or the gestures of figures, and they do relate and make these networks. I just wonder. For me, it's so easy to just get stuck doing it one way, but it seems like you really think about, like, you have a grid strategy over there with
Yeah.
the Saints one. You have so many different strategies. You must
Well, I
spend
try
a
to
lot
do
of
something a little different each time. You try to
Yeah.
learn something, do something a little different from each painting.